Hey guys, today's question is going to be a bit difficult. At least it was difficult for me when I was reading it first. So here it goes. The question is, what event shaped you as a person? And what story can show what kind of person you are? So please leave your answers in the comment section. And now it's my turn to try and answer that hello question. So I think there are three events that shaped me as a person. Two of them actually have to do with death. So, okay. When I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old, my great-grandma died. And it was summer, so it was summer break, and of course, so it wasn't like regular life for me at the time. So I remember we went outside of town, and then we heard the news that she died, and so we came, and I think it was so weird for me. So I didn't feel any sadness, but I did feel this a bit unusual situation when my great-grandma used to tell me that, oh, I'm so looking forward to when God takes me. And I couldn't understand. I was like 5 years old. I'm like, how can you want to die? I could not understand it. But I think that attitude somehow kind of got to me. And to this day, I don't think of life as something that you must hold on to. So, of course, like biologically, I'm programmed to want to live, and I feel that very strongly. But on like an intellectual level, I always remember that there is an option of not living. And so, especially when I was a teenager, I quite often contemplated suicide and stuff like that, and I never got to do it, of course. I never tried even, but that thought has always been on my mind. And yeah, so that was my first encounter with dead people, and I think that influenced me quite a lot. The second one has nothing to do with death. It was in school. I think I was about 12 years old, and on the school break between lessons, we used to play football. I mean, for some of you, soccer. And so when the bell rang to go back to school, we were all running from the football field to the school. And then what I see is my friend being attacked by like 10 people, I think. 10 people meaning, 10 students, I think 1 or 2 years younger. So let's say we were 12, they were 11. Oh my God, bird. Yeah, so he was attacked by them. And like he was a cocky kid, so I could see how he could piss them off, and so they kind of rounded up him and trying to kick his ass, basically, like really attacked him, like physically, not just by words or anything. And I, in my mind, I doubted if I need to help him. Like some part of me wanted to be like, yeah, that's your lesson, motherfucker. You're such a cocky person. You should not be like that. But what I saw next was my classmate just ran onto those kids and like from running, boom, kicked one of their asses, and like that kid just rolled on the ground. It was so strong. And so then of course I thought, okay, let me do that too. And so now there were 3 of us against 10 of them, and those kids were a bit smaller than us. And of course they ran away. And So what I learned from that story is that in every situation you have a choice what to do, even if maybe it's not the best thing for you to do. There will be somebody probably who will take charge and who will do the right thing to help your friend and stuff like that. And so if there will be that person, why not have that person be you, you know? So from that point, I think I've been trying to be that person who reacts first. And, oh, doggy. And the third story about my grandfather. When he died, I could see his body. And what I realized was that he had hair in his ears. And his ears were like weird color. But what I remembered was hair. And then, when I was about 27 years old, once I was brushing my teeth and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I have hair in my ears when I was 27. So before that I didn't have it because I was too young or whatever. And at that time I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting old. And it really changed my attitude to life. I didn't feel young anymore. I didn't feel like, oh, now it's getting better and I'm getting stronger. No, it's like, I think that ended. So from that time I feel like, okay, now I'm an adult. Now I need to think about the end of the life. And actually one more story about my grandfather. Like, sorry, I'm probably overloading you with stories, but maybe you will like it, I don't know. So 1 week before my grandpa died, he was in a hospital. And I and my mother went to visit him. And we spent really nice time. And I don't know why, like, I was 17 years old, 17-year-old kids, I think, don't think about that stuff usually. But I thought, like, what if that day was the last day for us to meet? And so I tried to make our visit to the hospital as pleasant as possible for my grandpa. And he was really happy. There were a lot of hugging and talking and everything like that. And so the next week on Thursday, he was released from hospital. On Friday, my father visited his parents, so my grandparents. And Friday evening, my grandpa told my grandma, oh my God, I'm so happy. I saw my grandson, I saw my son, like, now I can die happily. And you know what? Saturday morning, he died. And that lesson, like, usually people regret, like, oh, I could have said I love you or something like that. I said it. I hugged him, we talked. And usually people regret not doing that. I am so happy that I did that. And from that time, I tried to make sure that everybody knows how I feel about them, the people who matter, at least. And every time might be the last time, you never know. So from that point, actually, this is part of my life. This is part of who I am. So I apologize for such a long video. I hope it was interesting. And please let me know what your answers are to this question. What events shaped you as a person, and what stories can tell us what kind of person you are. So please leave your comments in the comment section, and see you.